My spouse lashed out. "I'm not your servant, accept that." I didn't push back. I simply replied, "Got it," and shifted to another bedroom without a word. 3 days passed, and she was in the kitchen, gazing at an appliance she'd never paid much mind to previously. Reaching 1,000 followers means a lot to me. Kindly back my efforts by following. I'm a 39-year-old guy, married for 9 years now. We've got 2 children, one 7 and the other 5. Both my wife and I hold full-time jobs. I work in coding and tech. She handles program coordination. On the surface, we seem equally occupied, both providing financially, both meant to be true partners in this union. For a long time, I thought the conflict began that Tuesday night. I arrived home around 6, as usual. My wife had returned about an hour before me. The children were in the family room, glued to the television. The cooking area was cluttered from morning meals, snack containers still out, school bags tossed near the entrance. I moved through the space, tidying as I went, storing items neatly like I normally do. I inquired if she'd begun preparing the evening meal. She was browsing on her device. She didn't glance up. "I just walked in. You arrived at 5 and I've been handling office messages. I'm not your servant." I paused my actions. "I never claimed you were. You suggested it by walking in and questioning if I'd started cooking, as if it's solely my responsibility. It's a shared responsibility." "That's exactly it. Then why question me specifically? Because I'm attempting to assess what's required so I can assist." She raised her eyes then, gaze sharp. "Handle it on your own." I remained there, clutching a snack container and a drink pouch. "Got it." I set the objects aside, headed upstairs, and began transferring my belongings to the spare room. Garments, personal care items, device cables. She didn't come after me, didn't question my actions. By the time I descended, she had retreated to the main bedroom with the door shut. I prepared the evening meal for the children, packaged pasta with cheese, raw veggies alongside, simple fare. They consumed it. I tidied afterward. Then I prepared them for sleep, showers. Oral hygiene, reading a book, the complete bedtime process. My wife stayed out of sight the whole time. The following morning, Wednesday, I rose at 6, prepared morning food for the children. Porridge with fresh produce, assembled their midday meals, helped them dress, escorted them to the school transport stop. My wife appeared downstairs near 7:30, ready for her job, mug in grip. She surveyed the cooking space, spotless surfaces, washed utensils, brew prepared in the machine. She remained silent, simply filled her mug and departed. That's when it dawned on me. Throughout these years, I'd assumed we were dividing duties fairly, but I began reviewing in my mind what I truly handled compared to her contributions. I roused the children each dawn. I cooked their first meal. I prepared their portable lunches. I assisted with clothing and preparation. I took them to the transport. I collected them post-classes. I aided with assignments. I cooked the main meal most evenings. I supervised their washing. I tucked them in. What was her role? She held her job. She returned home. She browsed on her device. She retired for the night. Yet in her view, I was the one suggesting she was a housekeeper by inquiring if she'd begun the meal. Wednesday evening, I stayed distant, cooked for the children once more. Breaded poultry pieces and leafy greens. She arrived, consumed the portion I'd set aside, offered no gratitude, and resumed her screen time. Thursday dawn, identical pattern. Children awakened, nourished, attired, sent off. I placed a memo on the surface prior to leaving for my shift. Groceries required. Details attached to cooling unit. Upon returning Thursday night, the shopping remained undone. The memo unchanged. She was seated in the lounging area, device occupied. "Did you notice my memo?" I noticed. Intending to handle the shopping, it was a tough day. Mine too. Then arrange for home delivery. I avoided debate, grabbed the details. Entered my vehicle and headed to the market alone. Dedicated an hour selecting, packing, transporting, storing all items. By completion, nearing 8, the children needed food. My wife hadn't provided any. I assembled the meal, noodles with sauce, fast and straightforward. The children dined. I cleared everything. My wife remained seated the whole period. That evening in the spare room, I reflected on our union, how we'd arrived at this point, what I'd been accepting unknowingly. Friday dawn arrived, repeated the pattern. Children up, nourished, dressed, departed, left another memo. Children scheduled for dental check Monday at 4. Verification message in your mail. Friday night, I returned to disorder. My wife was in the cooking area, fixated on the range. The children at the dining spot drawing, the range inactive, no meal visible. Issue, she faced me. I can't figure this out. Figure what? This, she indicated the range. I approached. What are you aiming for? Prepare the meal. Unfamiliar with the range? I understand ranges generally. Not this particular one. We'd owned this range for 3 years. It's standard, rotate the dial, heat activates. I attempted, no response. I examined the settings, spotted the issue instantly. Need to push the dial inward while rotating, child-proof mechanism. That's ridiculous. It's functioned that way 3 years. I've never operated it. The statement lingered, 9 years wed. 3 in this residence. She'd never activated the range even once. I depressed the dial, rotated, flame ignited. She observed as if witnessing a trick. You've truly never cooked a meal. She stayed quiet. Delivery orders don't qualify. Why not? Because that's purchasing food. Not preparing it. It still nourishes everyone. Using my payment method, her expression stiffened. Planning to hold that against me? Not holding. Merely noting reality. You declared I'm not your servant. Agreed, but you're also contributing nothing. So, precisely what is your contribution? I hold employment. As do I. I'm exhausted upon return. Same here, then secure assistance. We don't require it. We require your involvement. She struck the surface firmly. I refuse this discussion. This isn't discussion. It's dialogue. No, it's accusation. I'm requesting household and child support. I provide support. Cite one action this week. She parted her lips, shut them, parted again. My job, beyond that, unjust. How unjust? Cornering me. Posing an inquiry, she seized her bag. I'm heading out. To where? Elsewhere. She exited. I remained in the cooking area. Range active, children observing. Is mommy upset? My little one inquired. Mommy's facing a challenging moment. Are you upset? No, darling, I wasn't upset. Rather, something deeper. Something icier. First follow-up. The weekend felt odd. My wife returned Friday near 11. I was settled in the spare room. She didn't approach, didn't attempt dialogue, simply entered the primary bedroom and sealed the door. Saturday dawn, I rose with the children, cooked morning food. Flapjacks. Children adore them weekends. My wife descended around 10, observed our meal, filled a mug. We should discuss, she stated. All right, away from the children. I arranged the children with a film in the family room, then joined her in the cooking area. This arrangement fails, she began. Which part? This situation, our relationship, current state, needs specifics. You're aloof, withdrawn, relocated to spare room, minimal communication. You stated I'm not your servant. Handle independently. I'm handling by managing solo. That's not desired. Desired was ceasing assumptions I'd manage all. I never assumed all. Assumed some contribution. I contribute substantially. Specify one. Non-work action this week for the household. She fixed her gaze. Why this behavior? Which harsh, not harsh. Truthful, tracking points. Necessary for someone. Marriage isn't tallying. Then describe proper function, because currently I maintain full employment, full child care. Full home management. While you maintain employment, then device time. Explain the equity. Not purely equity. Then what? Partnership. Partners divide burdens. You're dividing none. She folded her arms. Didn't agree to ongoing judgment. Not judging. Requesting participation. By isolating in spare room, by highlighting shortcomings. You are shortcoming. That's reality. Her cheeks flushed. How audacious? Audacious what? State truth. You avoid meals, avoid tidying, avoid evenings, avoid studies, avoid purchases, avoid all but employment and browsing. Yes, shortcoming as partner. Leave. I have spare room recall, leave residence, joint ownership. Then I depart. Proceed. She collected bag and keys, departed. Engine started, drove off. Children entered cooking area. Where mommy? Needed fresh air. Return? Uncertain. Second follow-up. She returned Sunday dawn. I was preparing morning food as she entered, appeared sleepless. Hair disheveled, cosmetics blurred, evidently tearful. Discuss. Certainly. Genuine discussion, no conflict. Fine. We positioned at dining surface, children asleep. Stayed with sibling overnight. Noted. She probed the situation. I detailed fully. She responded, valid perspective. I silent. She admitted exploiting me, drifting while I managed all. Did sibling note if spouse handled half your efforts, gratitude expected, I'm irrational. Now external validation convinces. Unfair, yes, she dried tears. Unaware your extent. How unaware? Reside here, unknown, simply overlooked. Issue exactly, overlooked since unnecessary, I covered. Regret, noted, merely noted. What response sought? Uncertain, pardon. Resolution possible, uncertain possible, meaning exhausted. Sole caretaker for family operations. Exhausted requesting aid labeled not servant. Exhausted soul effort. Zero recognition. Recognize you, odd demonstration. Improvement pledged, heard prior, sincere now, demonstrate, third follow-up. She attempted, credit given, subsequent week attempted. Monday dawn, rose with children, prepared morning food. Attempted, scorched protein. Children opted grains, but effort made. Monday night collected from classes, overlooked bag checks for tasks. I handled post-meal. Tuesday tried evening food. Poultry attempt, overdone, chewy, no complaints. Children rearranged plates. I provided alternatives post her rest. Wednesday overlooked dental despite reminder. I departed work early, managed solo. Thursday laundry attempt, mixed shades, damaged several professional tops. Friday ceased efforts, returned to her seated tearful, children occupied elsewhere, residence disordered, unable this, which, all tasks, unfamiliar your management, acquire, rehearse. Attempt, attempting, aware, failing, yes, she raised gaze. No easing, why ease, spouse status, spouse and husband, yet didn't hinder servant treatment, never intended, anger spoke, truth emerged, not my character, then define yourself, no. Response. Fourth follow-up, deteriorated prior improvement. Next week halted attempts fully. Resumed device seating evasion. I resumed all tasks. Shift occurred, no longer for union, for children. One night, roughly 3 weeks post-initial clash, seated her. Decision required. Regarding, situation, us, continued union, seeking separation, seeking partner. Incapable, then yes. Separation, genuine over domestic tasks. Beyond tasks, respect, effort, active family member, not mere resident, extended silence. Then separation undesired, alterations required. Aware, genuine sustained, not brief attempt abandon, real ongoing, uncertain capability. Then concluded, simply thus, no. Not simply, 9 years accumulated, 9 carrying burden while drifting, 9 requesting aid dismissed, not abrupt, foreseen, capable alteration, stated, sincere, demonstrate. Exhibit improvement, not promise, enact. Closing follow-up, 6 months since that dialogue, alterations occurred, gradual, imperfect, but present. My wife initiated personal counseling, solo, not joint. Required understanding disengagement from household. Revealed untreated lingering sadness post-second birth. Career stagnation, bitterness. Much evaded via device. She began genuine assistance imperfectly, occasional meal scorching, occasional oversights but persistent effort, handles evenings now, assists studies, manages purchases. Handles washing sans damage. Shared bedroom resumed, not flawless interpersonally. Lingering bitterness, pain, but dialogue occurs, authentic, no conflict, no evasion, true exchange. Children observed. Contented, stable, dual parental presence, not singular management while other occupies space, not claiming resolved, uncertain full resolution ever, but improved. Currently sufficient, primary insight, marriage unsustainable solo, impossible all tasks expecting unnoticed appreciation. Occasionally, absence of compensation reveals reality. Occasionally, failure highlights taken for granted. My wife required viewing without my coverage. Required kitchen moment, unfamiliar 3-year range, recognizing total disengagement, inability basic home function. Not claiming approach ideal. Not universal solution but effective here. Now constructing improved foundation, deliberate, mindful, balanced, or striving toward.